when you have to tell people what to think, you suck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Either way, that you cannot convince someone to like something they don't like. You can explain why you did it, but you own it, good or bad. You be brave with it. Just be brave.
But when it's, specifically you're patently evil, you're racist, you're sexist, when has that ever worked? When has that ever worked?
I'd have been fired in 2 seconds if I came out and did that.
Yep.
Nerdrotic.com.
37% of U.S. Rings of Power. Not going to say Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Viewers finished season 1 report. Amazon has previously called the show its top original. Top original.
That's not true.
It's just not true. And we've been telling you, remember, audience, you're patently evil if you criticize this show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Don't forget about that. Oh, I remember every single thing they said in every clip. I've got files on this shit. I am ready to go anytime they come up with something like this. And here we are months later. And as you said in your video, is anybody talking about this? Does anybody care about this show?
Nope.
Do we got an action figure line coming out?
Nope.
Do we have 1/6 scale figures coming out? Do we have fucking statues, which are the easiest thing to make?
Not of Rings of Power. There's Lord of the Rings statues still coming out.
I guess people like that Lord of the Rings thing, huh?
They really like that Peter Jackson.
Yeah, they kind of do. Yeah.
Oh, I did come across a Screen Rant article. I'll have to find it again. I think it's like 5 or 10 ways Rings of Power is better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. I'm like, shut up. Now you're just trying to piss us off.
Yeah.
Since its premiere last September, God, it feels like years ago. The Rings of Power has been proudly branded a hit by Amazon. Prime Video proclaimed that the fantasy series premiere day broke records for streaming with 25 million viewers turning in. As of March, Amazon had been calling it their biggest show ever, with over 100 million people watching. They were saying that in October, by the way.
Yeah.
Not March, October. So that was a few episodes in. People tuning in worldwide, but streaming ratings are always nebulous. And a new report is calling the show's success into question. In the United States, only 37% of the viewers who started the Rings of Power actually watched all 8 episodes to completion.
Oopsies.
30% of the viewers started the Rings of Power actually watched all 8 episodes to completion, according to a new report from the Hollywood Reporter. So it's a report from the Reporter. The number was not shared directly from Amazon.
To be completely honest, I actually think that's surprising. Like, if you'd asked me to guess, I think I would have gone lower than that.
It's only 8 episodes, though.
No, I know. It's just that there's nothing to hook you into that show.
Batwoman had a higher audience retention.
Damn.
Season 1 of Batwoman than Rings of Power does.
I think,
and that was 20 episodes.
People will watch a car wreck, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like,
and I think a lot of people get on it to make fun. You had people in their house at home watching this doing MST 3000 while it was going on.
Yeah, roasting it.
Yeah.
It's really boring as well, though. Like for a lot of normies,
it is incredibly boring. And you could see that, like, the dive off after the first 2 episodes, and I'm guessing that 37% was from episode 3 on. That's my guess.
The first 2 came out together, didn't they?
Yes, they did. The number was not shared directly from Amazon. This is the best bit. And remember, this is from a Hollywood Reporter article, so this isn't IndieWire is just like writing an article on another article, and it's a bit of a tome. It's a bit of a big article, but it is in there. And what you find out, they say sources, it's sources from Amazon. So it is people who are currently working with Amazon Studios are leaking this information. So that tells you one thing. They don't like Jennifer Salke. There is a group of people there who don't like her, who are spilling the beans.
Well, Jennifer Salke just said that anyone that calls into question the success of the show is wrong. And season 2 is going to be bigger and better.
Don't worry, Salke, we'll be there.
It lost a horse. It read the script and
It lost a fucking part of the electrical building. You know?
And that is God speaking.
There is a tempest in there.
No.
I can be an actor now when I saw that.
That was just a booster, not a tempest. The number was not shared directly from Amazon, but reportedly came from sources within the organization oversees the completion rate, because you want to have a good completion rate, right? Seriously.
I love completing.
Yeah, 38 seconds. 38%.
Still complete. Still complete. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Better, but at 45%, less than half of all the viewers were compelled to complete Amazon's Middle-earth adventure. IndieWire has reached out to a representative of Amazon Studios for comment. Admittedly, it's hard to say for certain how these completion rates compare to other shows at Amazon. Otherwise, the streamers that do release viewership metrics never share completion rates for their titles. So success is measured by raw amount of hours audiences watched the show, even if a few only tuned in for 2 minutes. That said, according to the Hollywood Reporter story, insiders at Amazon said a 50% completion rate would be viewed as solid but not spectacular result for an original. So losing half of your audience, it's
Not
solid,
spectacular.
but not spectacular.
The way to put it.
Yeah. Kinda.
That's obviously Disney's approach, telling half of your customers to fuck off.
Remember, it's the first season. It's only 8 episodes, and it's a absolutely monumental franchise which is beloved by hundreds upon hundreds of millions worldwide, and 55% of the international audience and 63% of the domestic US audience couldn't be asked to finish.
This is completely opposite of every metric I was taught in the 90s when we were doing what we were doing. This is exactly opposite of how you deal with reaction. There would have been all hands on deck. How do we fix this and apologize through our work? I don't even understand going forward and saying things like this, because it's double speak as they go.
Well, Kelly, in all fairness to them, they did decide to say, hey, look what we've got coming in season 2. Yeah. And then they just showed a bunch of diverse women. And that made me so excited, but not half as excited as my account.
Didn't they say, like, don't you worry, guys, we'll have more battles in season 2?
There's
Like,
going to be a battle that's going to stem 2 episodes. It's so big.
the way to, like, completely misunderstand what the hell everyone's asking for. It's like,
I know.
oh, yes.
The battles we've seen suck.
They have. That's the thing.
Well, there wasn't even a battle in season 1. There was a skirmish in a peasant village.
Oh yeah,
know.
they like were running
Like 30
away in the
people.
grass.
Between like 30 people, and then the orcs like multiplied again for some reason. And let's not forget Mordor was created in an afternoon.
And why was there like 90 villagers in a village that had like 5 huts?
And yeah, why would you send a Numenorian army to go save, I don't know, Middle Earthville? I just
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And get there in a day. Get there in a day.
On 3
The
boats.
old man.
Do you think when they did this because they didn't have the rights that they thought we'll come up with something better than Tolkien?
I'm sure they thought that was guaranteed. They were like, of course we'll be better than Tolkien. He was a fucking old dude. What does he know?
Or is it worse that they never read Tolkien? They just watched Jackson's movies.
I'm not even sure they watched those, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, their research was just watching Peter Jackson stuff.
Based on J.R.R. Tolkien's writing. No, it's not. No, none of it is based on any of it. They had the rights to the appendices and completely fucking ignored them. Okay.
How do you do that? How do you read the appendices and go, everything was laid out there? Everything you could do, you could work within that, and no one could criticize or come at you legally because you got the appendices, and there are the names, there are the places, there are the dates. That's how everything happened. Actually, for a guy who doesn't read, that's the best way to do it. There it is. It's all cliff
Yeah,
notes.
it's an outline. But apparently I missed the part where Galadriel sat like a dude and wore full body armor and just slayed her way and cut through orcs like butter. I missed that part.
Did you miss the part where she fucking swam across the Atlantic
I missed
Ocean?
that part too. I seem to have missed that part too.
Yeah,
Did you
I
miss
didn't-
the part where she told the greatest army in Middle Earth how to stab, twist, and cut?
I missed that part as well.
I must have skipped over that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Where
ghostwriters.
Numenor was run by a queen regent. So I missed
But,
I
that
would have
part
been a
too.
bigger fan if I knew she was such a good swimmer.
Yeah.
You know, if you had like ghostwriters or people on board who are supposed to just fix it up, like script editors, script doctors, sort of thing, I could totally imagine seeing episode 1 of Rings of Power being like, okay, no, just we need to do this again. It's all wrong.
I missed the part where Elrond had sex with a dwarf and,
Oh, yeah.
and the dwarf got jealous, and yeah, it was like all kinds of sexual tension.
But remember, they always, when they weren't sure, went back to the books.
back to the book.
Oh yeah, back to the book.
to the book.
Absolutely.
And
Of
what they
course.
did is they sat on the books and then said, "What are we going to do?"
Yeah, they used them.
Yeah.
They used them as paperweights for their script written in crayon.
You know,
Yeah, based on J.R.R. Tolkien's writing and then
No.
completely ignored. Developed for television by Jar Jar Abrams' disciple, bad reboot disciple J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. Rings of Power arrived on Amazon just last fall with high expectations from the streamer to be a hit and received largely positive reviews from critics.
No, from critics.
Well,
What the same critics that when they said now it's over and we can tell the truth,
yeah.
it's dog shit. I
Oh,
love you, Guardian. I don't. I hate you. You're a fucking rag. But that was the funniest thing I've seen. Shill. Now it's over. We're gonna tell.
I know. That was so good. That was almost as good as the Charlie's Angels one, which is the best one.
Yeah.
Of all.
Maybe the
Man,
greatest
this
of all
wasn't
time.
made for you. Why didn't men see Charlie's Angels?
Yeah. Within a week. Within like 2 weeks or a week of each other, those headlines, same fucking place.
Where was I? But while the show managed to make it to number 15 on the
Wow.
Nielsen's end of year list,
Whoa.
by the way, that's not overall. That is original.
Original, not
was-
overall. It
God,
didn't even get to
15
the top 50.
originals. Jesus.
It is also slightly muted reaction from audiences on social media. It was completely overshadowed by House of the Dragon, which attracts significantly more online conversation, according to Parrot Analytics. That's bullshit, but that was obvious. The show was largely ignored by award bodies this year. I mean, completely ignored. It got nominated for like a stunt for stunts this year. House of the Dragon, meanwhile, managed a Golden Globe
That's
win.
because it was dog shit.
Yep. The revelation of the Rings of Power's completion rate comes as part of a broader story from the Hollywood Reporter about Amazon's struggle to produce a breakout definitive hit for the Prime Video streamer. Sources quoted to the story shared frustration regarding perceived poor decision-making and lack of vision from studio head Jennifer Salke and head of television Vernon Sanders. Yeah, Jennifer Salke, not a good person. Just not. Little backstabbing, you know what. Salke, who quoted in the story, claimed that 250 million households across the entire globe receive Prime Video. Yeah, but they don't watch it. They don't give you the numbers of the people who actually watch it, which we have no idea. That is just that's your Prime. That's your Prime members, not your Prime Video, because you get it free with Prime. It's unclear how Amazon tracks Prime Video viewership as opposed to all other overall Prime subscription model. But the company last reported that it had 200 million subscribers in 2021. If they're not reporting it and they're being nebulous about it, it's because they want to hide it. Yeah. They don't want you to know the real numbers. That's why. When things are a hit, they will tell you. Netflix has no problem telling us that Stranger Things is a massive hit, like all the time.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, they don't have much of a problem saying when something's a failure because they just go, that's not returning.
Yep. Salke also claimed that The Rings of Power was a success in the story, saying that the desire to paint the show as anything less than a success, it's not reflective of any conversation I'm having internally.
Is that in her own head?
Mhm.
Delusional.
People are telling me what I want to hear. Fucking
Yeah.
shocker.
See, that's the
Shocker.
point where it's just like, you're just lying. Like, we know you're lying. Why are you saying that? Like, you don't have to go that far with a lie. You can say, like, oh, things are going okay. Yeah. You don't have to say, like, oh, absolutely by no metric at all, inside, outside, it could be considered not a success. Like, why would you say that?
She also said she anticipates the second season of the show currently in production to attract more buzz. That's a huge opportunity for us. The first season required a lot of setting up. All the goodwill you had from Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings and George J.R.R. Tolkien originally is gone. It's gone. This is going to be a fraction of what was left of the audience, and I mean a very small fraction. This will be a fart in the wind. I promise you.
I don't feel like and I know it's anecdotal. I have never met someone who likes this show.
Yeah.
I've never met one. I will hear I didn't like something, but that was a popular thing. I've heard people even say I didn't like Jackson's Lord of the Rings. They saw it, they watched it, they went through the whole experience. They're few, but they're there. I've never heard anyone say anything about this show out in the world, getting coffee, going to the store, having just never. And I know that when they say buzz, it's going to attract buzz. They're not saying good, bad, or bad buzz. They're just saying buzz. Yeah. And I guess now that's ratings. If someone talks about it, they count that. If you type it in and say something, us talking about it, they'll count that as a rating point.
Yeah, Parent Analytics does that.
Yeah.
Like any interaction. That's why you don't believe them. But back to what they said earlier. A view is now counted. It varies, but like on iPlayer over in your lovely country, Mahler, iPlayer, BBC iPlayer. If somebody watches Doctor Who, do you have iPlayer in New Zealand? Yes.
Sure.
Okay. If somebody watches Doctor Who for 1 minute, that's a view. They count that as a view. And I know it's different on different streaming services. So that's why this minutes watch thing is such bullshit.
So if someone picked up my comic book at a store and put it back down, do I count that as a sale?
Yep. That's how some platforms are counting a view right now. If you run across their thumbnail.
Well, how rich would I be then?
Yeah, right.
That's the thing. The money can't lie. Like they can't. No. And then the company, the stockholders, because you can't get away with this forever. That's why I assume you're saying you're going to hold on to all these quotes. Look at House of the Dragon. Have we been hearing from the House of the Dragon creators? Don't worry, guys. There'll be more battles. Guys, the buzz for season 2 of House of the Dragon will be even better. We'll draw more people in. I'm sure. It's like, no, they're just making it. They're going to make it and they're going to give it to us because they're like, yeah, we know you like it.
Is Roger Corman still alive? Because he should run Rings of Power, and you would get something happening every 10 minutes. You know,
he is. I think, he still is.
I would, or at least his philosophy of make something happen.
Right.
I mean, like something interesting.
Yeah. Anything exploitive, Mahler. Anything to keep them in the seat.
I said before, like the big problem EFAB had with the first few episodes is we were like, there's nothing to really fucking say. It's really empty and crap. But it did crank it up. By the time you got to the creation of Mordor by some hobo, I was like, okay, there's a lot we can talk about here. Just like where they've gone wrong.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
Hey, if you like what we do here at Nerdrotic Daily, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you could do that with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.